Hey, everybody. Welcome to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast. It's going to be a doozy today with Jacobith, Saldati,
Chatterfer. But there's so much that's happened in the last week. I've been in a foul mood. I'm not going to lie. And I'm usually not the vocal one of the group, but I've had it. I've reached my limit with some of the media coverage on things and the way things have been going on and how things are happening. And yesterday I called you and I was livid.
Yeah, you were.
And there's no reason for it because it doesn't affect me. And our fans and audience will hear this, but it's not going to get out there to a bigger national audience.
Yeah.
I think we'll just start. I don't know where to start this at, but let's go ahead and start with Fresno State football. Now I know you had some issue with some of the things you saw, and I'm not even talking about the game itself.
No, not even about the game.
Like our thoughts aren't even like everybody saw it. We got outdone in pretty much every aspect of the game.
Yep.
Go ahead. You start this with dogs.
I have a problem. Where do I start? I have a problem with the fact that we sell at the stadium for the first time in 7 years, and then the stadium is almost empty by the end of the fourth quarter. Like, I get it. They're losing. They're getting beat pretty dang good. But still, anything can happen. Like with our offense and the way we are, our offense, Fresno State's offense and the way they can score, they could have come back. You know, I mean, there was like 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter and the stadium's almost empty. And we're not talking about a 7:30 game where it gets over at 11. You know, I get it. Traffic. You got to beat them. The game ended. I watched the whole game. The game ended at 8:00 at night. Like, there's plenty of time. You know, if you're worried about traffic, you shouldn't go in the first place. But like, everybody wants to be all high and mighty when Fresno State's doing good, but when Fresno State's doing bad, you like give up. That's the Fresno State fan that I see. If you're a legit Fresno State fan, and I'm not like a legit Fresno State fan, I can't put myself on that. Do I support Fresno State? Yes, definitely the baseball, you know, but that's just comes with our relationship with Batesall. And obviously I grew up wanting to be a Bulldog. As far as football goes, I didn't miss a game growing up, you know, until my grandpa gave his tickets away. So I've always gone to football games. Since then, since having a family and stuff, it's kind of, you know, it's harder to go. But for all the ones that are like, oh, we got to sell out the stadium. Oh, we got to get tickets. So we got to support the football program. Okay, yeah, do that. But then 20,000 fans leave before the game's over?
More than that, probably.
Well, if it's sold out, it's 40. It's like 40,000.
Did you see Hainer looking in the crowd? There's a shot of him like coming off the sideline. He takes his helmet off. I think he was on the phone, hangs it up, and he looks around in the crowd. And he was just, I don't know what he was thinking.
Is like, how do you as a player feel supported when the crowd's gone before the game's over? Not like 2 minutes left or 4 minutes left. I mean, it's the fourth quarter and everybody's gone. Where's the support? If I'm Jake Hainer, I'm looking up at the stadium. I'm like, these guys don't even care. They're only going to support us when we're doing good.
That's easy.
Yeah, that's easy to support. But how about if everybody stayed the whole game and you're just like, dude, these guys are staying for us, win or lose.
Ride or die.
We need to freaking pick it up. We need to score a touchdown here. We need to do something. But at that point, it's like, dude, F it, dude. Nobody's even supporting us. And I'm not saying nobody. I'm just in a general statement. You know, obviously people stayed till the end and whatnot, but for the most part, people were out of there. It was embarrassing. Not only that, then Fresno shows its true colors by being on national fucking news for fighting.
Got fights breaking out everywhere. People falling out of the stands onto the field.
I mean, that's just straight Fresno. And you guys are like, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean by that? I went to school in Oklahoma, and everybody talks shit about how bad Fresno is. All the other California thinks Fresno is just the armpit of California. It's the dog shit city of California. Like, I'm not just saying that. That's what everybody says.
I've heard it too.
And when we do something like that, that gets on national news, the fighting breaking out in a game like that, because you have a top 25 team playing against Boise State. That's going to be on the news. And then the fight breaking out, it's just like, nope, yep, there it is. Fresno.
And that doesn't represent Fresno. It's not, it's just, that's the perception, and things like that validate all of those thoughts.
Exactly.
And, we know better than that, but we're here.
But how am I supposed to back up Fresno?
The other thing I saw, and luckily some of those guys were Fresno natives, but I saw there was baseball recruits at the football game. So you've got other sports recruiting players on recruiting trips there to attend that football game, and then they see stuff like that. Do they really want to be a part of that?
Well, that's the thing.
And then they see the fan base just check out.
Yeah. And I mean, the baseball stadium, I mean, it only seats what, freaking 4,000?
I think it's more. I think we're on like 6 or 7. I'm not sure.
But imagine 4,000 of them leave, like if you're losing in a baseball game. And with baseball, I mean, we know from experience, you could be down however many, you could still come back and win. But yeah, as a recruit, if you're going to, and I know you guys are probably like, oh, it's Michigan, it's Alabama. It's what, it doesn't fucking matter. If you're a fan, you're a fan.
One of my buddies made a really good point, and we were talking about it yesterday. He goes, "Did you see the game at the start?" I was like, "Yeah." We noticed the same thing. It wasn't full.
No.
It wasn't full at kickoff. It wasn't even full until like the second quarter.
Yeah.
Do you ever see Alabama, Michigan, any of these schools?
Kickoff, it's full.
It's full.
It's full. They're not worried about their social scene outside the stadium. That's what this Fresno is so much about, social and like, I'm this and I'm that and blah, blah, blah. And just, dude, that's not like, that's everybody's agenda here. Like, I just noticed that from my friends from high school, from, friends from other high schools, and just like, obviously I'm on social media, so I look at all their stuff and it's just like about me, all this kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I post stuff about my kids and stuff, but it's just, everybody's worried about their status. That's how I feel. Everybody's like, rather than, we're here to be the Fresno State game and support Fresno State, we should be there at kickoff. We should be there when they come out of the tunnel. How would you like coming out of the tunnel and the stadium's full, just cheering for you?
And that's what they talked about. And I think I saw Cam Morrell bring it up like on a pre-show during the week, like of how awesome it is to come and like playing in a Super Bowl and playing, in Chicago, and coming down the ramp at Fresno State to a packed house. There's nothing like it. And then you come, and it's like, I'm looking on TV and it's like, dude, there's still a shit ton of empty seats.
Yeah. Cause they're not in the game yet. They're eating that tri-tip sandwich and drinking some beer and talking about my kid's this, my kid's that. I don't know. That's just my perception.
I was thinking about it too. Like that was a rough loss. They got handled.
Yeah.
Straight up. There's no arguing. They got smoked. But I don't think that was the loss that really hurts is Hawaii. I mean, when you look back in the season, like, okay, they lose Saturday night. If they beat Hawaii, they're still in charge.
Yeah.
So you go back and look at that Hawaii loss. That's the one that's going to haunt the memories of this season. I mean, they're still bowl eligible. So I don't know. They're going to need some help, but just stay with the team. I don't know.
You're either a fan or you aren't.
I get there's frustration, but
guess what? It doesn't affect you. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Like those kids were not trying to, they were trying to lose.
They're not going out there like, hey, we're packed house, first time in 7 years. Let's go lose.
Yeah.
Like, that's not on their mind. Like, they still want to win. They just got out coached, outplayed, outperformed, out everything. That happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of football. And everybody's like, Boise State was 4-4. They're having a terrible year. It doesn't matter. It's Boise State. They're still going to be Boise State. Boise State, Fresno State's a rivalry.
Yeah.
It's not like,
it doesn't matter if they're
rivals 0-8, they'd come out playing Fresno State.
We've seen that in our own coaching. Like Monera South in baseball has struggled at times, and we could be miles ahead of them, and it could be a 1-run game every single game.
Yeah,
against them, they never. It's always
definitely in the past when it was lopsided a little more.
There was a couple seasons, but for the most part, it's a competitive rivalry game.
Yeah,
you can't. Their records don't mean anything.
No. No, they don't. But I was really disappointed.
I think that's you kicked off my weekend of frustration with because you called me and you were texting me that night during the game about why are people leaving?
Yeah. Well, it's not only Fresno State though. That's been my thing. Remember when Dodgers were in the NLCS, the fans were leaving.
And they
like
came
that
back.
bothers me.
Yeah.
Like, did I want to leave the Astros Braves World Series because they were losing and it was going to be over? No. Do you really care about traffic? Like, honestly, you go to a game thinking, man, traffic's going to be bad. You have to prepare for that. You can't just be like, oh, let's get out of here before traffic gets bad.
If anything, now seeing what I saw, you're wanting to get out of there before it gets too crazy for the crowd, before you're in an environment that's not safe. I mean, I'm seeing pictures of recruits on the field, and then I'm seeing fights and people getting cuffed on the field.
Yeah.
And then the dipshit of the week dumping the beer, who he wasn't. If you watch the video of the fight,
he wasn't even part of it.
He wasn't even part of the fight. There's a point where he's trying to hold people back. And then as somebody's walking down the stadium steps, he's dumping beer and he dumps it all on the cop.
Yeah. And then gets arrested.
What a moron. I figured we should start there. Stay with the team. The next thing, and this has gotten me, like not stressed, like through the roof irritated. The controversy surrounding Aaron Rodgers. The positive COVID test last week that he got. Had to miss a game. It comes out that he says he didn't lie. I mean, I understand where they say that
he just never answered the question.
He said he was immunized when asked if he was vaccinated. And this was back, I believe, in August. And it comes out that he's not vaccinated, that the Packers knew, the NFL apparently knew.
So what?
And that he had been in the media rooms. And we kind of mentioned this on Pag Meter Friday, that his logic was, I disagree with these rules. And let's be clear, like, these rules it's all optics. It's, hey, look, we're doing something. Because you got 50,000 people in the stands who you don't know are vaxxed.
More than that in a football stadium.
Yeah, you don't know who's masked up. You're not requiring.
Nobody's masked up.
But go buy the booze. Go buy the hot dogs for $12. Go buy a $80 shirt.
But it's okay because you're at a sporting event. It's okay, though. Because you're spending money you're paying somebody stuff.
It's optics. So Aaron Rodgers for the last 6 days has been crucified. The woke mob, he called them. And I don't know if you saw what he said on Pat McAfee on Friday.
Mm-mm.
And he just broke down why he didn't get the vaccination when those questions were asked back in August. And it was essentially, there's he's got an allergy to ingredient into both Moderna and Pfizer. At the time, I believe they had pulled Johnson & Johnson. They had the blood clotting issue. And so he looked into alternative medicine at that time to protect himself without risking taking the other two, which was fine. And so you see people on there, oh, it's quack medicine. It's blah, 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 blah. It's quack this. No science. There's no double-blind studies, Max Kellerman. There's no trials and data. Really? This vaccine's been out a year? And how many people a year ago refused, oh, we're not getting this? How many politicians before Biden was in office said they weren't getting the vaccine? All of them. Right? All of them.
Mm-hmm.
And now the script is flipped. Now they want to mandate the stuff. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. So Aaron Rodgers tests positive. There were positive cases before him, though.
Yep.
From vaccinated players. Holy cow. So we have a problem with his logic for getting the vaccine because you can still get COVID and you can still pass COVID. He gets COVID, and we're assuming, I don't know where he got it. I don't know if they contact trace, how they did that. But we can assume that It was from a vaccinated player that also had COVID. And so for 6 days now, the story has been Aaron Rodgers. From ESPN, from First Take with Stephen A. Smith, to Kellerman, to Florio and Sims on NBC. You had Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. Everybody, all of them just letting him have it for 6 days. I was on YouTube and I search, and you search Aaron Rodgers, and I ask everybody who's listening, go do it. Go on YouTube, search Aaron Rodgers, COVID, or whatever you want. You're going to see miles. You're going to scroll. There's not minutes. There's hours of everybody blasting him. Everybody. Hours. Go look. Go on YouTube and look. A 20-minute clip here. A 10-minute clip here. About COVID and the rules that NFL has in place. Did he lie? Did the organization know? Shannon Sharp saying that they should lose draft picks. I'm hearing all this outrage. And I asked you, and you didn't remember. And I've asked 3 people this.
Yeah.
Name me another story last week, the same week that Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID. Name me another story. And everybody I've asked has not been able to name me another story. We're so caught up in Aaron Rodgers. So go YouTube search it. And then I want you to YouTube search Henry Ruggs III, who got in a car
twice over the legal limit,
drove 156 miles an hour on a city street, and fucking killed somebody.
And her dog.
And you go search how much that's been talked about. Go search how many minutes or hours. You're going to see more local news clips than you are all these sports analysts talking about it. Calvin Ridley stepped away from football for mental health issues. You see that anywhere?
Nope. That should be talked about more than anything.
We've got a player.
Really good player.
Who deliberately drove his car drunk.
Oh, that player, yeah.
And killed somebody. And we're up in arms over Aaron Rodgers' COVID.
And I also heard that Oakland Raiders, because they're in Vegas, and I'm sure a lot of NFL teams might have this in place, but they can call somebody in the organization and they have drivers for them whenever they want.
I mean, you should be wise enough to not even need that.
You should, but they have that stuff in place.
And I'm hearing how selfish Aaron Rodgers is. What a me decision. How could he do that? Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. You're all full of shit. All of you. And they're so mad that he won't come out and tell them what he's done. Because he doesn't care.
It's nobody's business.
What is it, Max Kelly? We want to have a conversation, Aaron. You need to tell us. No, he doesn't need to tell you anything. You guys cannot handle it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an embarrassment? Really? He didn't kill nobody as far as I know.
Top 5 quarterback to ever play the game.
He's a diva? Whatever. You don't like the guy?
He's okay. A quarterback. What do you expect? I mean.
But he's all these things. And they're really, this is where our media's at?
I mean, Henry Ruggs, that wasn't a me decision. That wasn't a selfish decision.
How much did Aaron Rodgers' decision really impact?
Nothing.
Everybody's lives.
Nobody. It didn't. You know why? Because whether you are vaccinated or not, you can still get the virus and you can still give the virus. So it costs nobody anything. The vaccination is just to help you lessen your whatever they are.
If you get it, yeah, it could help hospitalization. And I get that. And again, I'm vaccinated, okay?
So then really Aaron Rodgers is only putting himself in danger.
And I said this on PAGS. This guy pays people what his medical team he called like Do you think he's paying all this money for misinformation? If you do, you need to get your head checked. And if all these analysts out there believe that, get your head checked. Quack medicine, holistic. Listen, I'm not saying I don't know enough about any of it to give an opinion. I don't care. All I care about is that the guys have a right to get it or not get it. Everybody does.
Yep.
I'm not going to shame you, judge you, whatever. You have your reasons. It's none of my business at all. But this is a much bigger news story than it needs to be. There's other things going on in sports, in the NFL especially, that are non-stories that have been stopped being talked about. This is what we've picked. No, it's a joke.
It's a joke. It is.
And I don't really care if people agree or I'm pissed off about it. It's ridiculous. And I understand, I saw Derek Carr, talk about Henry Ruggs and being there. Awesome.
He should be.
Awesome.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it shouldn't be talked about.
And it doesn't mean it's a horrific thing.
No.
But to say Aaron Rodgers, I'm hearing the selfishness, the diva, cost his team. Somebody's life was taken away.
Yeah.
From a poor decision. And if you want to call Aaron's decision poor, fine. You have the right to. What I'm saying is, and what's absolutely ridiculous, is that this is such a big news story that there's days of footage on this. There's days of conversation about this. Go to YouTube and search you're going to see just hours of stuff on Aaron Rodgers. Doesn't matter how high profile player he is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't know why people pick what stories they want to get onto but like when you have a player like Aaron Ruggs, a really good player that was going to play in the league. And now, my wife's a lawyer. I was talking to her about what he's probably looking at. He's looking at least 25 years probably for manslaughter.
Yeah, on that stuff, I don't know.
So, I mean, that's.
And I'm not a believer in second chances, all that stuff. I'm saying that the story out there is Aaron Rodgers. And it's peanuts compared to that story and somebody losing their life tragically as they did.
Mm-hmm.
And a young man who knows what the future holds.
Yeah. But I mean, even the Calvin Ridley things, I think more of a good story. It's for letting people know about information of, what the sport can do to you, your mental health, all that kind of stuff.
And one of the best receivers in the game.
Yeah.
Like even that guy has struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not digging into that?
No, we're just talking about a story that means absolutely nothing. Aaron Rodgers' story really means nothing. He's not the first. He's not the last.
And you go back to the Olympics, right? And people were blown and outraged at Simone Biles for her issues that she had that she didn't compete on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Calvin Ridley with, his own issues. And we just sidestep it. It's Aaron. Like, I don't get it. It's ridiculous. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because it's Aaron Rodgers. If he's so smart, he's trying to be so slick. He went to. I'm just done. Like I'm sick of that.
He talked about the studies on the vaccine and how there aren't enough studies for. He said he wants to have kids someday, and there's not enough studies out there that prove that the side effects won't leave you sterile or anything like that. All that stuff he said, you might want to think it's BS. Not you, but people might want to think it's BS, and he's just saying that to get out of it. Realistically, there aren't any statistics or studies of
not enough out there.
There's not enough of
like but that's years, the shaming he's talking about for people that don't know those answers. For them to say, "Oh, he's just stupid," that's conspiracy.
But you don't know that.
You don't know.
This vaccine's been out for a year. We have no long-term side effects.
Again, the guy's paying a fortune, and he's playing with the best athletes in the world, and himself is really good athlete. Do you think these guys invest their money into people that don't know what they're doing?
Not only that, you think the organization is going to allow a player
Absolutely not
to put everybody else in harm?
So they're mad because he didn't follow protocols, and
he's still getting tested probably every single day.
He was isolated too.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing their due diligence to keep him safe and the team safe. So he got COVID. Oh no, he got COVID. It's like COVID's like a death sentence now, which it's not. Like, people get COVID every single day or whatever. It's a fucking virus, man. It's like the flu. It's a virus. But because he's not vaccinated and got COVID, oh no. But it doesn't matter. If he was vaccinated, why would it be any different? There would be no story because he'd be vaccinated.
Yeah, they're making fun of him for talking.
It would almost be like they would want to hide that he got COVID if he was vaccinated, because they want everybody to get vaccinated because you're not going to get. It's all bullshit, man.
I know they were teasing him about talking to Joe Rogan, a comedian. And I was just like, who do you talk to? Where do you get your info? Like, and that's exactly what he's talking about. They're saying nobody's shaming you. When you say shit like that, that's exactly what you're doing. Quack medicine. I know I've had somebody close to me that had battled cancer for a long time and was told that without certain treatments through that hospital, they had maybe 8 weeks to live. That family decided to do some holistic stuff, and that person lived for almost 4 more years. So I'm just saying, is it all quack? Or are they telling you it's quack and you're just drinking the Kool-Aid? Again, I'm vaccinated, so I don't.
So am I.
Like, I think people should have the right to choose. And I don't think this is the story they've made it out to be. We sidestepped some pretty big stories for this.
Yep.
Much more impactful stories. And they're saying all that Aaron Rodgers is embarrassing. No. All of you that are talking that way, you're embarrassing. You're completely full of shit. And more people are starting to realize that. Like I said, go to YouTube and look for yourself. And you're going to be shocked. We can move on from that. I just was so pissed, dude.
Yeah, I get it. It's a double standard. It's ridiculous.
And we don't ever get into this topics, but I couldn't take it anymore.
I mean,
segue into what stats. The other thing that just drives me crazy is they announced Sunday night Gold Gloves. And I didn't have really a problem with any of them. I did see Yachty didn't win for the catchers.
Who got
Stallings with Pittsburgh. I want to know how in God's name, and no disrespect, it's going to sound shitty. How does Joey Gallo win the Gold Glove for a right fielder in the American League? I don't even know who the third finalist was, but Kyle Tucker was a finalist. I think it was Hunter Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe was the other one.
That's a good one.
It is a good one.
Gallo didn't even play right field, the Yankees.
He played right field for 9 games in New York. He played 51 games in left field. He played more games in left than he did in right. He played in 82 games, 83 games with Texas in right. His combined fielding percentage for right field in 2021 was .980. And the league average was .985. He was below the league average in right field.
That makes a lot of sense.
He played in right field. He played 764 innings. Kyle Tucker played 1,129.
133 games or 126 in right field.
He started 126 games to Gallo's 89 games started. And his fielding and Tucker's fielding percentage in right field for 2021 was .992. I don't.
So are they going off of assists? Do you know how many assists they had?
I really, it was. I think it was a little bit more. Gallo had more.
I think that's what, because of defensive WAR, which I don't care about WAR really.
0.9 to 0.5.
Gallo's got a better WAR by 20. By 20th.
He was 39th in defensive WAR.
which still is the 39th.
And Kyle Tucker was 59th in defensive WAR. So again, it goes back to, let's see Joey Gallo play 400 more innings in right field. Is he still WAR that much higher?
Yeah.
How does a guy that played half the time that Tucker did, how do you win a Gold Glove? And the Gold Glove is voted from managers and coaches in each league who are not permitted to vote for their own players. Additionally, a sabermetric component provided by the Society for American Baseball Research accounts for approximately 25%, which I don't know what those metrics are.
So those are, what's his name? The guy,
Brian Kinney, your boy.
Brian Kinney.
Yeah. For 25%, though.
That's a lot.
The guy he played barely half a season in right field. And I'm not trying to I like Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand what stats are you looking at? Are you looking at a bunch? Or are you looking at
or did he have the most assists? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What you're right. What do they look at?
But that's one stat.
Because his fielding percentage is below average.
Yes.
How is somebody with a below average fielding percentage
a Gold Glover?
A Gold Glover.
Who versus a guy
that's
that's
the Gold Arm Award.
7 points higher?
Is it the Gold Arm Award?
I don't know.
The Gold Glove. Gold Glove. Gold Glove. For the best defensive
yes
right fielder.
Yes. I'm just I don't know what's going on. We have to be in a simulation. Something's not right. I don't get this.
It doesn't make sense. And that's why I think these guys need to be questioned. Like, why did you pick him? Like, we need to know. Like, everybody. Like, why did you pick this guy?
Why the coaches and managers, though? They're the ones that vote on this.
Yeah. I want to, Cora, why did you vote for Gallo or not?
Yeah, I don't know. I just look at the numbers. And again, not one. And again, assists. Okay, they're throwing a ball.
Well, the assists, I think Renfroe had more assists in the league. I'm not sure.
But like you said, it's Gold Glove.
Yeah.
What'd you do with your glove? I mean, he was below the league average for right fielders.
Yeah.
Are people not looking at stuff? Maybe is that the problem?
I mean, even then he was 972 in fielding percentage.
Overall, as an outfielder. That's overall fielding percentage, 972. I feel like we're just bitching and complaining this whole thing.
Just trying to find a reason to.
I just had to get out my frustrations.
No, but it makes sense. I mean, you want these awards for the players they mean something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, winning a Gold Glove, like, means something. And if I'm Kyle Tucker and I'm like, this dude only played 89 games in right field and he got a Gold Glove over me, like, I would be fucking pissed off. All the work he DH'd and didn't have to go out to the field. He didn't, like, who was it? What did Walden say? He's got to run out to the field for 1,100 innings rather than 400. That's a lot. Yeah. Running out, running back, running the bases, defense, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, some people might think we're just, complaining about little things, but it's not. It means something to these guys that put the work in and all that time. And I'm not saying Gallo doesn't put the work and time in, but I bet if he didn't win it and Kyle Tucker did, he probably wouldn't be mad. But I guarantee you Kyle Tucker's fucking pissed off.
I guarantee, yeah.
Or Hunter Renfroe.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
And I didn't even go back to look at other guys that should have even been mentioned in the Gold Gloves. I mean, those were just the finalists. I bet you there's guys that are pissed off they were even left off.
Yeah.
Like Austin Riley.
Well, if the league average is 985 or whatever and he's under it, there's a shit ton of guys.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
But then again, it comes down to maybe the coaches and managers voted some way and 25% took over in whatever the hell the SABR is. Again, it's a computer It's somebody that has nothing to do with baseball coming up with a stat or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the right way to do all this is. It's just it's irritating to see this stuff. That's all. I get irritated. Maybe that's.
How about we just take the person that has the highest fielding percentage in that league and say he was with a certain amount of games? Because I know to get like rookie of the year or something, you have to have a certain amount of bats in the league, or that kind of thing. Let's start doing that.
And same with the batting title. You have to have so many at bats to qualify.
If you got to play 75% of your games in that position, so I don't know. I mean, it's funny because we talk about it. There's a lot easier ways to make this happen, but it's just they don't want to do it. They want to keep fucking shit up.
Also, last week, I just because we stay on it, I'm just going to get more irritated.
Yeah, move on.
Venting. We're venting today. That's what we're doing. That's it. The complaining rant of episode 138 is over. I apologize. I don't apologize. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Part 2, basically. But it's been really frustrating to see how some of these things are shaping and how people are treating certain situations. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, politics need to stay with politics, and sports need to stay with sports.
Yes, I agree. And with that, again, get the podcast on Twitter at HIT.OR.DIE podcast, Instagram at HIT.OR.DIE. Go follow on YouTube, subscribe, please. And again, everybody that bought stuff off the store, we really appreciate that. It helps us do what we do. That's episode 138, HIT.OR.DIE podcast.
HIT.OR.DIE.